3 weeks to get this barn done. I may die. There's a reason I'm not an inventor. There's the house. I think this is the original barn. I was picturing a faceplant.
We were young and we were free and running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling. We were young and drunk in love.
Happy Monday afternoon. I am sitting in my car currently, waiting to do a workout class at Orange Theory. Normally do these every Monday with Taylor and Claire. Finished the workout. Was terrible. Was good for me. Hate that that works that way. So now I'm gonna head to the UPS store to drop off Wi-Fi equipment and then get headed home. Just got home. Paid a visit to the girls. Gave them some mealworms. I need to bring out they have like metal trash bins that we keep their food and everything in. I need to wheel them out there, but I got some eggs. Max has been hard at work today, kind of cleaning up some trees and whatnot. Cut down one dying bush and cleaned up that guy, and cut down some other kind of lower tree, dead branches. Looks like he weed whacked around the rock. Yeah, it's starting to really come together. Bits and pieces. I also need to figure out where to put my pots over here. I have a mixture of flowers and completely dead ones. See, this one's dead, this one's dead, and then some berry bushes, a couple there. So I need to figure out where to put those, and I have a few other ones by the barn still. So, and that's all gonna go in the dumpster when it comes tomorrow. And then these all will, well, not those small ones, but the black and yellow ones will go in the barn. But I think for now, and then I gotta get the cat litter boxes inside because I only have the travel one in there still for them, which is fine for the interim. But I need to get our porch cleared out so I can stack some of this stuff in here until it's till the barn is ready. Because like these blue bins are horse stuff, those bins over there are horse stuff. This cabinet will go in the barn. These chairs will go in the barn. These will go in the garage. So there's just kind of a variety of stuff in here. And I think if we just kind of pile it up, it'll look better, but we'll get there. That's horse laundry piled up that I need to do. It's a mess, but we're getting there slowly but surely. But in the meantime, eggs. Taking an evening stroll around the hayfield, letting the dogs run off leash. Oh, Samson, he's having a blast. It's just so pretty though. Look at that. What a treat.
Where are you going? Over here.
Yay, city cakes!
Are you having fun?
Yeah,
Yeah, this is the best thing ever. Oh, you're so freaking cute. Look at that.
I got all the horse laundry done. Just 3 loads, but I didn't start it till this afternoon, so most of it's put away there. We have the wraps still. All those are pretty dry, but I'll deal with those tomorrow. And then this saddle pad is still drying a little bit, so I'll put those away tomorrow. It's this door leads out to our porch, so it's like really nice. I can just bring horse laundry into here and then just out that door and don't have to carry it out through the house. So hello, happy Tuesday afternoon. I am momentarily going to be headed to the barn, but Maxie is quick fixing my headlight for me in case I have to come home in the dark tonight. I need to do for sure Bella, potentially Chubby if I have the time and energy. But I need to put laundry away. I have grain to put away, and then we'll see where I'm at. But we don't have a horse show for a couple of weeks, so I'm not feeling super rushed to have to get them ridden. So yeah, it's been a good day so far. Very productive at work. got a few things done around the house before I got in the car. So I'm a little bit worried about traffic because we have to pass Epic to get up to Wanakee where our horses are, and it's 4 o'clock. So we'll see how that goes. I might have to take a different route, but we'll see what my GPS says. Bella's a good girl. Just finished up. Gonna let her walk for a bit to cool down and for me to catch my breath. We worked on our lead changes a little bit today. They were getting a little sticky for some of our listeners, so we just had a little bit of a reminder. And she's so perfect. Sadie, where have you been? That's the whole point of the video. So she wears her fetlock boots at night because as an old lady, she sometimes gets sores and then she doesn't sleep. So with her fetlock boots, it keeps her legs all nice. And then I have to break her apple into pieces because she doesn't have any front teeth anymore. But she's perfect. I'll see you tomorrow. Just got home and Max is showing me all that he did this evening, which is a lot. He's cleaned out the majority of the hayloft. There's just still a little bit left over here. But like, this is so cool and so neat. So what he's gonna go do is patch up a few of the areas that look maybe a little bit weak, would you call it? Yeah, because it's a good floor. Like I'm jumping and like it's fine. And then there's like a few places where they have like open hatches. Well, they're not open. There's a door that goes open. It goes over it. But so he's probably gonna seal up a couple of those hatches because there's no reason to have a movable surface. But yeah, it looks so good. We're just gonna put hay back up in here, but it's nice to see it clean. And then he also got started on some like mowing and weed whacking today, but the belt broke on the mower, and we have to go get a different one from the one we purchased already. So, but yeah.
I don't know.
We're finding old treasures like this sign for an attorney. Previous owners weren't attorneys. Don't know who that is. And everybody is starving. Oh, Spog Ranch. Look at how
shipping warehouse
dirty he is. He's very proud of his trunk.
Munich Bros. Hey.
Newspaper from February of 1960. Good morning, happy Wednesday. It's about, I don't know, like 10:30. Had to take a quick step outside to look at the mower and get a couple pictures from Max. He's at like a homesteading store, I guess, because the belt on this mower is apparently not standard or normal. So I just went and grabbed a couple pictures for him, and now I'm just gonna, since I'm out here, I might as well look at my birds. They were squawking earlier, laying some eggs. Hi ladies, how we doing? We look good. I don't know if you can see through the hardware cloth, probably not. Ooh, that's a wasp. Ooh, ah! I got stung at the show. No, I don't want to get stung again. That's actually like a yellow jacket. She's angry. Ooh. My birds. Hi girls. All right, so I'm gonna head back inside, get back to work. And then what's the agenda for today? I think Max is gonna come home. No, he has so once he's done at the store, he's gonna go to another different farm to do a lesson with a new client, so that's pretty exciting. And then he's home for a little bit, and then we're gonna go out to Carriage Ridge I'm gonna ride Trevi, he's gonna ride Lopi, and then a lesson on Bella tonight as well. So I'm hoping those couple hours that he's home, he's not gonna disappear into the barn. He can help me with like a few house projects. And we're still waiting for our dumpster. It was supposed to be here yesterday. They can't give us an ETA, but we need the dumpster before we can start tearing the barn apart. And we also have a bunch of garbage from moving. So I'd like to get that thrown out and cleaned up. So yeah, so that's our day today. The dumpster has arrived, so we can finally start taking stuff out of the barn. I just got finished with Trevor. He was super good. I'm talking quiet because Max is teaching a lesson, so I hope the camera's picking up my voice. So I'm the videographer now. So I'm very busy. Trevi has to wait, but he loves standing in the middle. It's his favorite thing. Okay, so I was just fitting Trevi's grazing muzzle back on, and I took it off to do the rest of it because he wanted to go back in his house. So I bathed him off, put him home. Now I'm gonna finish this. So the part I was struggling with is getting the zip ties pushed like behind it so that the pokey part doesn't face outwards. He wears a grazing muzzle for two reasons. The first one is he's a bit of a bully to Lopi. They're great pasture mates, but he can land some pretty good bites on them, and Lopi doesn't need that. So this is partly protection for Lopes, and then also partly it helps reduce his grazing so he doesn't get too fat because he's a very, very easy keeper. So 2 birds, 1 stone. But every couple weeks, once a month, usually he rips it off because they're obviously just zip ties. So I have to put them on. I keep a bag of zip ties in my grooming bag and everything to be prepared. So just gonna get that finished up. Sadie cakes. Okay, we are almost ready to leave for the barn, just waiting on Max to grab a few things. I had a really busy day today at my computer, so I don't know what he's been doing outside. I mean, I kind of know what he's been doing, but hopefully when we get back tonight, it won't be too late and I can go out there and get a couple of videos because he started cleaning out the barn. Apparently he finished the hayloft area and got started on the lower part, but I'd like to go see it, but we're running late for a lesson, so we gotta go. So we are making a quick pit stop at Lane's coming back from the barn. Max just ran in to get more Sawzall blades and keep working at the barn. And I did a pickup order for a power washer that just barely fit in the car. So now we're gonna be headed to Culver's to get dinner. But Trevi was super great today. Didn't do a ton. It was kind of hot and humid and I wasn't that focused. And I may or may not ride tomorrow. I feel like I just need a night at home to like work on a project since I haven't been able to do much this week. But no, it was a great night at the barn. The lesson tonight was one of our friends, Katie, and it was her first ride back since having a baby, which is very exciting. So we're happy to see her back in the saddle. Look at all my packages. I might have a problem. And I got one more that's down at the gate because it's a box, 4 packages to go into so they don't get wet from rain or snow since they can't bring it up to the porch since we have a gate. So this box that came in stuff. All right, Max got started on the lower part of the barn today and he started to take out some of these these are old stanchions too, right? Mm-hmm. What are these then?
Probably were calving stalls.
Calving stalls?
So, yeah.
Okay, well, some old bars. They're over there. It's what he needs his Sawzall blades for. And he's slowly going to take out some of this hay, and they built a platform. So this space is either going to be another tack room or a grooming stall. Haven't decided yet. Once we get it cleaned out, we can see the vision a little bit better. So this space too will also be a TBD. This is either going to be the grooming stall or another tack storage stall. Haven't decided yet. All right, and earlier today, Max finished cleaning out the hay loft. What do you call it? Hay loft. But you're calling it something else too. A mow. Yeah. Hay loft, mow. So it's nice and clean, and he did some patchwork on the floor. You can kind of see some of the raised ones just to fill some gaps. Nothing really structural or scary. But it's so cool up here. So this barn was used and designed when they still did loose hay. And when did they start doing bales? Like the 40s or 50s, people started doing like small bales or baling in general. So what they used to do is just take loose hay straight from the field into here. So they have all of these ladders up the side, so that as hay kind of came in, people could, get up and out. And then this room over here is a corn room.
I believe it used to be an old corn crib.
An old corn crib, we think. And they used to put corn in here to keep it separate from all the loose hay. So some of the, and they probably use some of these drop-down doors for the loose stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's why there's so many drop-down doors along the side too. So we've got a couple of them kind of patched up permanently. And some of them will keep open, obviously drop down our bales. And there's quite a few doors up here as well. There and there, behind me somewhere. There we go. And that's our hay elevator that we'll use to bring up our own small bales once we purchase them. So it's a really nice night. There's a bunch of lightning bugs. I probably can't see it on the camera, but Max did a really good job with this. And then one of our goals and dreams is this wall here looks into the indoor. Walk over there, maybe open this door. And we want to build like a little lounge seating area. This is an eventually project. Should I just push it hard?
Yeah.
There it goes. So the lights are off, so you can't really see it, but it looks into the, I'm afraid of falling. I don't like heights. Into the indoor. So we'd like to put windows, and we'd have to wall off the area up here to keep it separate from the hay, because we're going to still store hay up here. Struggling with that. Okay. So I think that'll be pretty cool. But for now, it's very clean. Good job, Max.
To prevent, it was, so they didn't put the loose hay over the holes. That's why something like that.
I have a corrections corner already. These ones around the side aren't ladders. They had them kind of boarded up, and they've been taken down over the years to keep hay, the loose hay, from covering the holes. And the ladders are at the end of the barns. Which one should I show? That's better. Let's look over here. That goes up to a little platform, which they would use to control the grapple. Yeah. So this is there, and then let me spin it around. Ooh, there we go. So there's the ladder, and then there's the platform up there, and then you can kind of see, you can see in the camera very well. There's a track system up there. There's no hook still, right, in this barn?
Yeah, that's fine.
That they would use to pick up the loose hay and drop it down. And then another piece of information, so this door, let's see if I can do this. Ooh, hello, that's bright. That there, like this whole area, is a door that if the indoor wasn't on this wall, could fold down or open or something. And that's where the hay would come in, and then they would use the track grapple system to bring it in, and then, bring it all the way down, and then drop it in the barn. So that's one of the reasons that we really liked this property, is it, came with this very cool, very old dairy barn. And I think it was actually taken from another property and brought here. I have a whole bin of information on the property that I need to read still. Hoping I can get more information, but I'm pretty sure this one was actually moved here, which is really cool. So old Wisconsin dairy barns, very interesting. Max says we think 1930 because there's a date in the concrete downstairs. So 1930. Good morning. It is just before 7 on Friday. Taking a quick walk out to the chickens to give them some watermelon rind as a little snack. Like they're all waiting at the door very expectantly. And then I'm gonna head inside, make me tea for the morning, maybe open up those Amazon packages, and then get logged in for work. I have a little bit this morning, which is actually nice. I can do something else. So. All right. Should we put it over here, ladies? Go check it out. We've got Lacey, or Golden Lace Wyandotte, and Cinnamon, or Cinnamon Queen. And those are Silver Lace Wyandottes. We named them the Powerpuff Girls. We got Bubbles, Blossom, and Buttercup. I don't know which is which. We got them this year. So in our little, call it backyard, there's a couple island of bushes and whatnot left. Some of them are cut down right now because they've died back already. But this little, this is probably a rose bush, right? Rose bush is nicely in bloom. And then we've got these random guys just come out of the ground. They weren't here like a day or two ago. So we'll see what those are. What I wanted to do, I have time. Yeah, I have 15 minutes before work. What do I want? I want the bird feeder where I can see it from my desk. So maybe if I come like over here, I can see my desk chair from here. Maybe I'll put it right next to this bush. Okay, we'll try that. Here she is. I might just check to make sure I spun them enough. Because these top ones don't look super spun down. I'm gonna call that good. And the question is, do I take it another step forward and go get that bird feeder? Yeah, I think I will. Yeah. Well, that wasn't very smart of me. Luckily I have other bird feeders. I don't know if that broke though. I think it just made a noise. Yeah, we good. She's hardy. Oh, there's another piece that clicks on the end here. That's why it came off. Oh, there it is. So I think the problem, what I was doing is I was trying to carry from that like double hook thing, and so I might just not use those pieces, and I might just use the hook that it has already in it. My only thing is I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that too short. I might have to take that piece down, and I couldn't get it down earlier, so we'll see if I can get this. Okay, that's not too shabby. I'd say it's a little precarious. All right, now what time do we have? We have 6 minutes till I need to be logged in. So now I'm gonna go get the birdseed tin. That was a lot of work for 7:50 something in the morning. Okay, so I put it over here for now. Max might want to move it. We might want to put it in the garage because there is a person door right there. But the garage is a whole nother project we need to tackle one day. So I think I'm just gonna get the bird feeder filled again so I can watch the birds from my desk now. find a soft rubber mallet. Jesus. I don't even know, man. Oh. Hot diggity dog. They left us a bunch of tools, which is great because they're already very set up. Palette. Who needs Max? I can do things. It's still leaning. So, oh my God, this turned into such a project. I think I might need to take one rung off of the bars to make it a bit shorter because she's real secure down there, but we're still we're leaning a little bit, and then birds are gonna land on this. So I think I need to go at least one shorter. Folks, we did it. We hung a bird feeder. Didn't know if we were gonna survive that one. Well, now with one rung less, I can actually reach it. And so I don't need my little ladder. It took way longer than I needed to. That was just supposed to be hang a bird feeder. Just gonna leave these right here. Later problem. She looks so good over there. Nice. I'm actually really pleased about that. Perfect. I was worried about the alignment, but there she is. Update from Max in the barn from this afternoon. He worked at stalls at Carriage Ridge this morning, and then had only a couple of hours because we had an electrician out to look at some house things that we may need to update, and then also to see what quote-wise we can do in the barn. Max can do a lot of things, but we don't touch electrical. So he's gonna do some of the plumbing fixes in the barn though. But we wanted to add, so above the stalls, there's a light, and then there's also an outlet box. Is that an outlet box? Yeah, an outlet box, which is nice for like fans. And if we have to put in water heaters, which I don't think we're going to because we're gonna add it. That's another thing we asked about, adding a little heater to the barn just so it stays above freezing. So we wanna get that extended, put electrical sockets by this light and by that light, because we're gonna add 2 more stalls on this side to the existing ones. So that happened today, and then he got the rest of this kind of taken out. There, over there. So he just needs to take these platforms to the dumpster we have outside, and then he started kind of hammering away on the cement just to see how easy it would be, but he was only using a small hammer. He needs to get this sledgehammer out of our storage stuff. So this front piece will come out still, and then that little area over there, that will come out, and then we'll frame in, Max will frame in the side here, and then the front, and then there'll be a doorway for a second tack room to add to the one that we have across the way. And we'll probably try to find a new window to add on a little bit more light, and then they'll also extend the lighting from up there down to here so we can have an electrical socket and a light fixture in kind of this room as well. So that's coming together super nice. He says, so now he's gonna go to do a lesson and ride a horse this evening. I think I'm gonna stay home and try to get other stuff done. But then when he comes home, he says he's gonna try to start tackling this room, maybe clearing the stuff out of it and taking down that front wall there. And then decided over here, so that's for sure gonna be a tack room, we decided that. And then this spot right here is going to be the grooming stall. So you need to take out all this stuff and then jackhammer out or sledgehammer out all the concrete over here. And then this is gonna turn into our grain room. We're gonna frame up, some walls or half walls. And then we don't need to take out this concrete, which is super nice. This is concrete and up the sawdust. And then this is another step up concrete, and that's concrete in the back. But this spot right here is like that over there. It's old troughs from when cattle were in here. So what we're gonna do is from like this bar-ish, I don't know how wide that is, that's probably correct, this bar-ish over, we're just gonna fill in the trough with sawdust and then put mats up here. So it'll be a step up onto this concrete and then a step up onto this kind of concrete-ish slab. And then we'll put the half walls up, and then this will be our feed room. If we need to add a second heater, we'll probably add it there eventually, but I think just the one is gonna keep it above freezing. And then we're gonna heat the front room up there because that's where the water heater is, so that needs to be heated as well. So yeah, making progress. I think we're a little bit behind on our timeline. We have essentially like 3 full-ish weeks until a horse show. I'm not going to that one though, only a couple of clients are. And then the next week will be my last horse show this season with a couple of clients, and then we're moving horses in. So we have 3 weeks to get this barn done. And I can help on the weekends, but there's other projects that I need to do, more with the house and whatnot. So, and I'm not much help. I can do a lot of things, but taking a saws out of metal is not in my job description. But once he gets to like scraping the beams to get some of this excess stuff off and to painting, I can do that. And I can help like moving stuff around too. So I'll see what he wants me to help with this weekend. And yeah, so slowly coming together. I'm gonna go back in. I have a few things to finish on my computer. And then I think my goal tonight is I'm gonna do up Max's closet for him. He said he was gonna do it. He doesn't need me to do it, but I think that would be nice if he can just have his closet put together. So I finished work for the day. I need to make up some more grain. At the barn we board at, we pre-bag them. And I'm almost out again. So I'm doing up 14 days now. Usually takes me about an hour to do all my grain between the 2 horses. This cat used to hide in the basement from this dog. Yeah, he's not so bad. To be fair, I also hid in the basement from this dog to begin with. Whoa, she told you no. This morning I'm fitting in 30 minutes of data entry work that I'm doing for my aunt before we head to the barn. And then it is supposed to rain this afternoon. I think it's only supposed to start at 4. And we have, so Claire and I are heading at 10, and then Max has a lesson 11:30. So hopefully we'll be home around maybe 1:30-ish. So we'll have a couple of hours outside to get stuff done because there's things I won't really want to do outside today. And then I think Claire and Taylor are coming over for this afternoon just to hang out and say hi. So fitting in a little bit of this now because I need to get this done. I think it was like by end of next week or mid next week, but I want to get most done this weekend. It's not that hard. It's just typing information back and forth. So I'm gonna finish that up and then need to put my backpack together and then we'll head to the barn. Lessoning on this beautiful Saturday morning. 2, 3, 4. Ah, very nice. We do most of our jumping inside because the footing's better inside, but so most of our jump materials are in there too. And Max needed a filler for this jump, so he took a barrel. I may die. There's a reason I'm not an eventer. There's a reason this horse is not an eventer. So, but yeah. Or it might be completely boring. I don't know. He was looking at it when we were flatting around, but he stopped looking at it, so we'll see. Usually he's very brave, like 2 fences, so I think that's gonna be a treat. I hope it's not too breezy. to mess with the audio, but we'll see. The breeze does make it nicer to ride outside. I think it's lovely. Everyone else says it's hot, but Trevi and I are fine. Perks of being orange instead of like Dark Bay. Great lesson today. Super good. Better than last week's for sure by a mile. I did a lot of reflection after last week's lesson, and I thought of a couple of things that I think impacted why it didn't click for us. And one is that we got on when the previous lesson was still finishing, so I had a lot of time to walk around. And so I thought I was being smart to try to like get him really engaged at the walk and off my legs and nice and round. But I've noticed that when I do more of that, instead of just like nice long rein, just go forward and turn left and right walking, he gets frustrated, and then I get frustrated, and then the rest of the ride is not set up for success. So he's the type I've noticed that his initial warm-up just needs to be go forward, don't touch his face, don't try to do too much too early. He's built a little inverted, and so it takes him a minute to kind of get warmed up, and then once he's warmed up, then he goes nice and lovely in a frame. And then it takes me a minute to warm up too, because I'm not so much of a natural rider. So it takes me a minute of like once he's forward to like finally put my heels down and wrap my leg around him, and click in better. So did that today, very good. And I was much more mindful of the fact that I was walking into this lesson very tired and still overwhelmed from all the stuff we have to do on the farm. And so having that kind of in the back of my mind of like, hey, you're already starting off in a place you're a little bit irritable. So I was able to kind of manage my own emotions and not let myself get worked up about something silly just because I was already starting off in like a not so good place. But like every good ride should, I've ended in a much better place, and I'm a lot less tired and a lot less crabby than I was earlier this morning. So thank you, Trevor, for once again lifting my mood. It's weeks like this where I have so much going on at home that I'm like, maybe I should just give him the week off and get stuff done. But I'm like, no, this is why I need to ride like every day, or else I would be an absolute monster. So super good lesson today. Gonna go get him, probably get him hosed off. He's fairly sweaty. He doesn't get nearly as sweaty as Lopi does, but I'm sure he has some lather somewhere. So it'd just be nice for him anyway. So get him hosed off, and then we'll put him back outside in their paddock over there. And then we will head, well, actually Max has a lesson, so I'm gonna put grain away. We just put it in the barn. I need to like put it in their bins. And then when he's done with that lesson, we will go home. We are headed back out to the paddock. We got on our fly booties and our fly mask and our Hannibal Lecter mask, so we're not mean to our best friend. Beautiful day. When I turn horses out, I try to give them treats after I undo them, because I never want a horse to like tear away from me as soon as I unhook the lead rope, because I've seen too many videos online of like someone undoing their horse and it spins around and kicks them straight in the head. So I choose bribery, right? I choose bribery so you don't tear away from me, because when I first got him, he would do that. Not the kicking piece, but just kind of like spin around and gallop off, and I'd rather a much slower exit, right? He's a good boy. But with the grazing mud hole, there's a hole on the bottom, and I have to like find the hole and like shove it through there, right? He's such a good boy. He's very snuggly. He's the most snuggly horse I've ever had. Okay, have a good rest of your day. So I was just thinking the other day how sad I was I didn't have my garden anymore to get produce, because like this is the time. And Julie's garden, Julie's another boarder here, we love Julie, she brought a whole bunch of produce for people. So we've got some tomatoes and carrots, and then what's this green guy? It's either a zucchini or a cucumber. I think that's a cucumber. Perfect. I think I'll be taking all of these. All right, we are back at Home Depot. Max is getting more Sawzall blades. Cutting through the metal stanchions in the barn kind of wears them out immediately. So I told him to get an obnoxious amount so that we don't have to come back. But luckily we have a Home Depot gift card, so that's nice. So he's gonna grab those, and then we're gonna head home. Needing a quick leftover lunch, and Maxie cut me up some watermelon. I think I'm gonna give some to Sadie. You sit? I give her some of the more edge pieces. Gentle. She's a piranha. what I'm gonna be doing is finishing up with the porch. So I'm gonna get some stuff that we wanna, move or throw out of the way. I moved the bird feeder yesterday and I wanna get it sweeped up and looking nice. So yeah, the porch is mostly just like bird seed, so not too much to clean off here. I think at some point we'll leaf blow it off and then we'll power wash it, but I think those will probably both be like spring cleanups next year, maybe this fall, late fall when we have time, because it's really not that bad. It looks quite nice. All right, I wasn't quite sure what to do with the hose because I didn't want to in the grass for when we end up mowing and weed whacking. So I've coiled it up for now, and maybe we can get like a small little something to go here on the wall that we can hang it nicely. And Samson's on the windowsill there. All right, I'm gonna carry this stuff to the front then, or the back. This is the front. So this box had a bunch. I think they had a charcoal grill back here. So it's got charcoal and lighter fluid and whatnot. I don't know what that black pump thing is. And some wood. And then the heavier garbage can had wood as well. And I don't know if Max just wants me to toss this or put it in the garage, because we don't have a charcoal grill, but it's on the list that we want to get. But it won't be a purchase anytime soon. We've got bigger purchases to make. So I'm going to call him quick and see what he wants me to do with this specifically. This is another one that sweeping it out for now just so it looks a little bit nicer, but eventually we will leaf blow and power wash. Okay, I think it looks a little better. This one definitely needs the power wash more than the front. And I didn't do maybe the best job sweeping. The breeze coming through makes it a little difficult, but at least I feel like I've touched this area and put it in a place that I can actually do something with it. So safety first. I don't know about anybody else, but that genuinely surprised me that I could do that. I was picturing a face plant. So, good. Should I be done? We're sorting through all the stuff that's in that cabinet over there. And then I'll have to show you guys this thing that we found. These are old sheets from like 1958 of breeding for cows when they used to have cows in this barn. So I think we might keep a couple of these nice ones and frame them up for where we're gonna hang up the stanchions for a little bit of history. Max is making progress on this front wall. Taylor is being superwoman and trying to get this out. I'm working on the shavings pile. Yeah, we got this cleaned out. This was all full of just sawdust from over the years that they used for bedding for the stalls. So I cleaned out this whole crevice over here. If Max ends up wanting to move the stall over, then it's already down to the bottom board. If not, we'll just fill it in with stone dust. And we cleaned out this trough, and up here, we'll fill it in with stone dust. and then we'll mat the top of it in here. And then he's gonna take out these stanchions. These are the ones we might keep. And then he's gonna knock out the concrete from this beam to the back wall, and this will be our grooming stall. And then we'll have to find or put up a different ladder, because obviously they'll be lower to get up to the canal. And he'll throw hay down like once a day or once every other day and stack it up against what this wall will be. That'll go with the ceiling, or it'll go higher. And that is the progress we made over here. And the progress we made on this side, we got it all cleared out of all the stuff, either in the trash, and then stuff we saved we end up putting in the tack room. I'll go over there in a second. And then started taking down this wall. And so he'll jackhammer out all of this concrete as well. You can see that this is where they took it out for all of it up until this point. So you can see like the lines over there and whatnot. So finish taking this out. And these will end up being stalls. These walls will shift a little bit to accommodate this space because they're a little small. I think it's like 16 feet from here to that wall. So they need to be just a little bit bigger. I think these will end up being maybe 11 by 11s because they're 11 feet this way. Okay, and then I can show what we have in here, some of the stuff that we saved. So there's some grain bins and like some hay nets and a bunch of hardware, some lime and shop vac. I'm not sure if that works. That'll be later. Some fans. So stuff we are saving are in here, and then there's some stuff in the room all the way down there as well. And that's the project. We got a lot done today. Thank you, Taylor. All right, we're calling it a night. Max is gonna finish tearing out this structure tomorrow. He's gonna try to save some of the studs to then frame out this room for our tack room. Good morning and happy Sunday. So we didn't end up getting any rain yesterday, but it started storming pretty good at like around 6 or maybe 5 a.m. this morning. Like a pretty big lightning storm. But no flooding here. There was a little bit in like the Milwaukee area. I think the storm just kind of like sat over it. So a little bit of flash flooding, but we're all good here, which is nice because we have a stream on the property, but it's like the headwaters of the stream. So there's not like a huge flooding risk. I'm gonna knock on some wood right now. We're gonna go ride later this evening. Max has a lesson at 3 out in Deerfield, and then we'll go to the barn where he has a lesson on Bella, and I will ride Chevy. Oh, but with the heavy rain, I'm happy to report very dry basement. So that's good. I can't help myself but not go through some of this. I think this bag is mostly like preservation stuff. And there's pictures from 1964 and 1965 of the farm. So you can see, all right, yeah, you can kind of see. So there's the house. I think this is the original barn. Now we've got a binder from when they put it into an easement that includes pictures as they like walked the property. And kind of noted like what things looked like and where. They've got some more pictures of the house. So this was in '93. And so you can see, can't see the camera, the barn as it currently is. Looks like it's probably that same red color. But the house itself, the house did not have, it had more trees. Where am I? This one, more trees in the front. I'll have to scan these in at some point, and no big porch, just the entryway. And then the back had the covered porch situation, but no addition. This was hidden at the bottom of the bag, so it's just like, it's a paper bag I'm going through right now. There was this paper hidden, and I don't think it was of the property, but it's definitely in the area from 1908. The creamery. I found the operations manual for the gate, which is great because opening and closing it for people coming in and out is kind of bothersome. And I'm wondering if we can't set it to just kind of stay open and then you just click to close it instead of when we open it, it's open for a couple minutes and it closes automatically. So I wonder if we can do that. This is fun. I don't know when this page was taken from. Definitely after at least 2003. But there is this picture of this all-female band called the Ingenues in the 1930s playing music in the stables of the UW Dairy Barn. Musical interlude is what they call it. So I found a letter that I think was written from the owners prior to the people we bought this farm from on just some of the information. So the history piece. The land that the farm now sits on was originally settled by Lewis and Tristram Story in 1845 when land patents were granted to the brothers. Lewis was granted the southern 40, which borders County A, which is the road the property's on, including the area on which the house now stands. Tristram was granted the north 40, and according to an old highway map, he built a log cabin just east of the springs. The site of that cabin can still be located. Interesting. I wonder where that is. We're gonna have to find that in the woods, if that's still there. And then the South 40 was sold a year later to David Smith and then directly to the Story son-in-law, Sam Shepard, who now rests in Storytown Cemetery. That's just down the road. Sam Shepard later bought the entire parcel. Nonetheless, the area was settled by the Storys, and this, of course, is a reason for Storytown Road. It like borders the property on the other side. Story Creek, Storytown Cemetery, and the old Story School that sits on the corner of Storytown and A. It is likely that Sam Shepard built the existing house, so the old portion. The architectural style suggests that the house was constructed between 1855 and 1865. The house is considered the oldest standing brick structure in the township, attested to by a sign on the corner of Storytown Road and A. Found a list of all the old owners. It's right, I'm burning daylight going through this. I knew I was gonna get distracted. So I'm gonna get this carried upstairs and I'm just gonna put it away and it's like safely out of the way. And then I'll eventually get to, I'm probably gonna take it all out and like spread it on the floor and get it reorganized and put into filing cabinets and whatnot. But for now, I'm just gonna put it up there. All right, and then a quick barn update. Max was able to get the rest of this room cleared out. And it really, he was just mentioning, it really opens up the space. So it gives us a lot more airflow too, which would be awesome. So he's gonna get this finished, swept up, and then he's gonna take down the stanchion. And that'll be, are you gonna try to frame in then he's gonna try to frame in the other new tack room, keeping our old one, adding a new one, so we'll have two, which will be good. I almost got distracted by helping him sweep up, but I really need to finish these few things inside because it's driving me nuts. So I'm gonna go do that really quick, and then I will come out and help him because he's gonna need my help moving those stanchions over out of the way. They're pretty heavy, and there's a lot of like moving parts to them, so you don't want them to like fall over and pinch you. So I'm gonna do this quick and I'm gonna get out to be where I actually want to be, which is in the barn. Weather has cleared up, and so my outside task now is going to be putting my pots in places. I think what I'm gonna do is take the whiskey barrel ones and line them up along this to kind of outline the parking area. And then I put one of my silver pots over there. I'm gonna get some more decorative ones that are by the barn and put them there as well. And then I think I'm gonna move my berry bushes, both the alive and dead ones, onto those cement blocks for now. So they're out of the way. I think I'm potentially gonna be putting my garden over there. And so I'm just gonna put them there for now. All right, whiskey barrels. I got my berry pots over there, and then I've got these over here for now. I have a bistro set still hanging out in the 2-horse that I need to unpack at some point, and so I'll pull that out to put the little blue guy on. Oh, I have one by the front door too. And then I'll figure out where I exactly want those to go. I like the ceramic one in the corner because he's got the side pockets all around, but then the other two we'll just kind of figure out. The other one is a silver pot, so I might put him over there for next season to put a berry plant in, or some other. I want to put my berry plants in the ground, but then maybe I'll get put tomatoes or something in there. So, good. Yeah. None of my friends are ever gonna want to come over again because I always put them to work. Claire's having way too much fun with the sledgehammer, taking out the concrete, and Max is framing up the new tack stall. So there's not really much for me to do in the barn right now. So I'm going to see if I can't get out my bistro set. Here we go. I forgot that this table is actually pretty broken, so we'll just leave that there for now. I need to fix it anyway. I just looked and noticed the time. It's almost 4, so I'm not gonna dig any more into that for now, because we need to get inside, get changed, eat something quick before we head to the barn so I can ride Chevy and Max can do this lesson with Bella. Claire actually got quite a bit done for the concrete, so that's pretty good. And Max is starting to work on the framing. I think the drilling into the cement is pretty tough, so I don't think he'll move super quick on that one, but all he has to do is frame it so that the electrician can run new wiring. I thought I was gonna get away from getting dusty and dirty today, but then I show up to the barn to this. At least he's happy with himself. All right, let me show you. I got it off of his face, but there's mud on his eye. Just caked right on there. All right, that's as good as it's gonna get today. With the brushing, it's easier to take a stiff brush or a curry when they're dry and crusty like that. But I have found with his mane, like this, it's better to actually wet it. So I can able to get a brush through it, let it dry straight. Because when I try to take a brush through that, it pulls so much on his mane, and I feel like takes a bunch of hair out because it's so knotted through the mud. Womp womp. Didn't even last a week. I think it's because the soil got wet from all the rain. All right, we're closing up for the night. Came home from the barn, and Max came in to finish on the door. He's very proud of his door. It's framed in nicely. What were the words you used to describe it? It is solid. It is level. Yeah. And it's got little to no gaps. There's a few places where he's gonna put weather stripping on, and then we'll paint it white. But look at that. It's really good. Oh, because what you were saying about the hinges, that over the years, they kind of just got warped and used and whatnot, so it wasn't very straight or hanging on very well. So, but now, very solid door. And then, as you can see here, he got started on the framing for this. So, very nice, Maxie. Proud of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Catch you next week.